Hey guys, welcome back. This week we are going to take a trip home. Right here, my home. Although I am, long story, from California, mostly raised here and in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is where we're going to visit right now. One of the biggest state fair foods that I remember was Indian tacos or the fry bread. Tonight we are going to make them two ways. We are going to make them as an entree savory, and I'm also going to show you how to make one very, very sweet and delicious. First, we are going to start with our dough. This is pretty easy. I'm going to tell you two different ways to do this. First off, if you want to skip what I'm about to do, use 2 cups of self-rising flour and then catch up after I mix this. For those of you who have all-purpose, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You want to add baking powder, which is in your self-rising. I grabbed the wrong one, but that was 1 teaspoon. This will make about 6 medium-sized tacos. That is 1/4 cup of oil. Then we're going to come over here, stick it in the stand mixer. One thing I could not get ready was extremely hot water. I'm not exactly going to tell you a measurement because depending on what time of the day, what time of the year, how much moisture is about, it really will change. I'm going to say about 1 cup and use pretty tepid tap water. Don't worry about boiling it. We're going to start. This is going to be a little bit tighter than a biscuit dough, but a little bit more loose than a bread. About half of that one on the counter, so you will see it start to pull away from the sides when it's ready. This still has a little while to go. You may want to add a little bit more or a little bit less. When we come back, we'll show you how to get this started on In the Kitchen with me, Mikey, and my cameraman Roy. We'll be right back. As you can see, our dough is done. One ingredient I did forget to tell you and I had to add later, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Let that sit on your counter. It's not really going to rise a whole lot until we cook it. Just let it mellow out, develop the gluten. It'll be great.
Hang out.
Now, here comes the personal preference part. With these tacos, you can stuff them or layer them however you want. Get as creative as you want. If you want to do them as pizzas, if you want to do them as a sloppy Joe, we're going just straight up Tex-Mex with it. Doing some taco meat. In here, I've got 1 pound of ground beef. You guys know I like my 70-30. Make sure when you start cooking any meat, steak, pork chops, make sure your pan is extremely hot. I'm not adding any oil, of course, because ground beef is loaded with oil. Even your steaks, you really don't need it. I wish I had one. Set it on the plate or set it on your skillet. Move it back and forth a couple of times. That'll keep it from sticking. It'll tell you when it's done. So, to this, we are going to season our ground beef. In here, and again, seasoning is up to you. I have 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1/2 tablespoon of dark chili powder, and about 1 teaspoon of dry garlic. You guys know I usually like using fresh garlic, but in this, I think the flavor is going to bring out a little bit better. Just using plain old store-bought powder. Don't use garlic salt. you're going to make everything way, way too salty.
That smells good.
You just want to fry this up for just a few minutes. It does not have to be fully cooked. You're not going to eat it raw. Don't worry about that. Raw ground beef isn't good. What we are going to toss in, I'm going to use, this is what, about half of an onion, Roy? Small onion?
Yeah.
Now, we did reserve some for putting on top. And just a little bit of bell pepper. The only reason I'm throwing this in here, I had one in my refrigerator I wanted to get rid of. Do the same thing. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever tastes good to you and your family. Use grilled chicken if you want to do just all vegetables. Do the TVP or the, Nutrella. I can't remember what episode we did that for, but it was vegetarian.
Chunks?
Yeah.
Yeah, the soy chunks.
Soy chunks. That would go good in here. Crumbled tofu, if you want to get super creative. So, while that's cooking, go check on your bread. Actually, we're going to use the same spoon, not cross-contamination. I'm using the other end. Stick straight in the middle. That dough is ready.
Because it came out clean, right?
Exactly.
Just like you put a toothpick in a brownie.
You are I keep saying gonna so much. You are going to want to keep some extra flour around for your hands. And I happen to have it right here in a pie plate. I'm going to show you, I'm going to try not to say gonna. Here we go. Just run these out with your hands. You want to keep the center just a smidge bit thicker. About like that. I have big hands. I'm going to say that's, well, if it was round, it would be 2 by 2. They don't have to be round and perfect. We're going to go ahead and roll these out, get them ready, stretch them out. And when we get back, we'll show you how to fry them up.
Okay.
Malfunction.
Oh, Lord. Welcome back.
Very much welcome back. We have our dough stretched out. Hopefully the oil is hot enough. Almost. You want your oil about 350. That's why you should use a thermometer. I did not. I'm hard-headed sometimes.
Well,
I'm making these about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. We have our ground beef going. That was, for this recipe, I'm using 1 pound of ground beef, 70-30, about 1/2 of an onion diced, 1 full bell pepper diced, tablespoon of dark chili powder, a tablespoon of light chili powder, a teaspoon of dry garlic, and stretching out 1 more. As you can see, they are blowing up very, very nicely. To the ground beef, you can add any seasoning that you want. I actually added some tomato seasoning. That's something that I enjoy. And something that Roy and I both really like is the taste of Maggi.
yes.
This video is not sponsored, but that is one of the things that we really enjoy. And Maggi has a variety of seasonings. You guys should give it a try. We've said this 100 times. If you have an international market around you, hi Mina.
Yes, hey Nina. It was good seeing you today. Oh, that's a whole different story.
We'll tell you about that in a minute. If you have an international market near you, get close to them. Go inside, meet the people. I guarantee they're going to be great, and they won't steer you wrong. Go down the spice aisle. Find something that interests you that you may not have tried before.
Ask questions.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask. Roy can't handle a lot of heat, so we have to kind of watch for that. I did let him try just the one time Samyang nuclear noodles.
No,
He got a bite. He got a bite. So while our bread is cooking, it's going to need, because my oil wasn't quite hot enough, it's It's going to need, it looks like, about another minute. And that one will probably be more grease soaked. If your grease isn't hot enough, oil isn't hot enough, whatever you're cooking in, it tends to absorb it. For our toppings, and trust me, baking powder is not going to be one of them. We have shredded lettuce, tomatoes, some queso fresca, hominy, which we are going to pan fry for just a few minutes. Oh, I'm trying. Black olives, I love them. Roy, not so much.
I'm not a fan.
When we get back, we will do one more bread, get everything plated up, and we've got 2 bonuses for you today. We're going to show you how to turn this into a dessert as well when we come back. And hey, don't leave. While you're here, please like and subscribe.
Yes.
And if you like what we're doing, hit the little bell. Ding! You'll know what we're doing every time we release a video. Yes. We'll be right back. Well, thank you guys for joining us another week. I'm going to show you quickly just how I like this. A little bit of the meat, some lettuce, tomato, cheese, and a little fried hominy. Now, I like my black olives. I'll be eating them on the side, and I'll probably have a beer with it. As I promised, I would show you 2 ways to use this. I thought we would get about 4 out of 2 cups. We ended up getting 6 out of 2 cups. See? Lots. The only thing I'm going to do different with this one isn't going to be salted at all. That almost looks like a donut, but not really.
I was going to say. Oh, looky there.
So we're going to throw this in just some cinnamon and sugar. This is a quarter of a cup of sugar with 1 tablespoon of cinnamon.
Oh.
And don't throw this out. You can use it for anything. Your breakfast cereals.
Take a bath in it.
Now I have take a bath in it.
Yeah, it's brown sugar and cinnamon.
Guys, he needs to eat, so we got to wrap this up quick. Glaze this with just a little bit of your favorite honey or chocolate. You have a perfect meal. Might be a little heavy on the carbs, but great because it's still pretty cold out there. Thank you guys for stopping by in my kitchen to see me, just Mikey. If you came to see Roy, you know.
Hey, I'm here.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Please
and
like and subscribe.
If there's something that you would like us to cook or like to see on this show,
what?
That reminds me.
What?
I told them they would have a second bonus.
Oh.
Okay, we will make this super duper quick.
We got 2 minutes.
Roy, see, he's pushing me. Roy told me, or asked me last night what I was planning on doing today.
Oh, no.
And I just said Indian tacos. So he went to visit our international mart,
yes.
Miss Mina.
Oh, she just loved it.
And asked what he was making tonight. She said, well, Indian tacos. She had never heard of it. Now, our friend Mina is from India. These are American Indian. So, Roy wanted to be sweet, and he really was, and bring something to go with it tonight.
Yes,
and he did.
For the Indian tacos that we were going to have.
We are still going to have this.
So,
it will just be with a different
I
meal.
went to the market and got 2 thumbs up colas that's from India and some dessert.
Kesari pita. I'm not at all sure of that.
I seen it today. She had posted it. She had got it in. I was like, oh, perfect. So I went and got it in. Yeah, we're in the wrong country.
We might be. Thank you, guys. It was the thought that counts.
That's right. Thumbs up.
It is coming up on the holidays. Thumbs up. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you again next week.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. I'm starved.